I'm Nicole.
I'm Geraldine.
I'm Lauren.
And this is
Doing the Damn Thing, an entrepreneurship talk show. Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Doing the Damn Thing. I'm Lauren Messmer and this is Geraldine Convento. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the entrepreneurship journey. Everybody knows that as an entrepreneur, there are things that will come up throughout the process. And we want to share a little bit about the experiences that we've had as we've gone through the 7-8 years of partnership that we've had. So, Geraldine.
All right. So I think the thing that has stuck out for me the most is the fear of a contract not being accepted. Like, luckily, these days I don't really feel that anymore, but I know in the very beginning, there's a lot of insecurities that you feel as an entrepreneur. Like, oh, are they going to accept this contract? Did I price it too high? Maybe they won't accept. Oh, let me bring it down by $200.
Will they see the value?
Right, will they see the value? And what ends up happening as a result of that is that maybe they do accept, and then something happens with the project where there's this weird energy. You're like, damn, they accepted at that price. And deep down inside, you know it's not really what you need, or the value, it doesn't really cover the value that you bring. So maybe the best work that you have doesn't really come through, or it's just a struggle to complete. The other thing that can happen is that unexpected things happen, and then all of a sudden you're spending a lot more money, you're hiring people to work on this project with you, and you don't have that extra wiggle room that you would have had if you priced it correctly. So it's really difficult. And then when they don't accept, you're like feeling even more defeated. You're like, dang, I even underpriced this. Like, what am I doing wrong? What am I not saying that would have had them accept? So that was the biggest thing for me in the first 3 years that we were partners.
Yeah, I remember that too. Kind of related to that too is just like projects in general, the insecurity of not knowing when you're going to have a project. So, you could be going along and you have months and months where you're really busy, and then all of a sudden you hit a point and there's like 2 or 3 months where you're not getting as many projects. And I think the balance there is, especially, if you're a project-based business or a service-based business, is, I guess it would work for products too, but that you are kind of doing sales while you're also doing your client work. So you have to kind of always be playing these two roles, and that can be really challenging until the momentum picks up and people are starting to refer you business. I think it was probably about like our 4th or 5th year where we started to we still have those moments where there's a little downtime, but not as much because we've just consistently been putting in the effort to network and to get to know people and all that.
So as we all know, as entrepreneurs, we have to wear all these multiple hats. We're the salesperson, we're the person managing the projects, oftentimes doing the work, and on top of that, having faith, and a life outside of the workplace. So that all can be really taxing to juggle at the same time.
Another struggle for the entrepreneurship for me is, there's moments where I'm really on top of my stuff and then moments where I'm not, so like it's like that motivation or to keep going. Once you fall, if you're in the flow, you can keep going, but then once you fall out of the flow, it can be difficult to get back into it, no matter what it is. Yeah. So like, I don't know, for me, it's been key to have an office or a place where we can go and meet up together so that we can kind of help to pull each other along when, and it's funny because we've always said that like when I'm up, she's down, when she's down up, I'm down. Like we tend to, that's a nice thing, that the balance that we found in our business, but especially if you're a solopreneur, that can be hard. And that's where I think really making sure that you're hanging out with other entrepreneurs is really important so that you can help to remind each other of stuff. So
yeah, and even as an entrepreneur, even if you're not in a creative field or a creative position, being an entrepreneur really is a creative art, because you have to figure out what will fill you up outside of the workplace that will have you coming into work in great spirits. Also, too, as you're doing your work, you have to figure out what's the best flow, like Lauren was saying. What's the environment that you need to be in? Who do you need to be around? There's all these things that you have to figure out so that you can actually be consistent in your evolution as a entrepreneur, because you always have to pivot and look at what your business is doing and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. It's so many different creative things that you have to do as an entrepreneur just to manage your own life.
Yeah. And another thing for as an entrepreneur, and part of the journey has been if you have a team and keeping the team together and not letting, the ups and downs that we talked about affect your team, because if you there's a fine balance between, I know we really made an effort to make sure that we're thinking out loud with our team, and that was really intentional so that they could learn how to be entrepreneurs too and kind of see the struggles that we are going through. But we had moments where I think we overshared what was going on with us, and that can hurt the momentum of the team, the morale, and that can be hard too. So it's like that balance also of how to keep yourself up while keeping your team up, and then keeping your business up. It's a lot, can be a lot.
Yeah, how do big businesses do it? They have tons of different positions where everybody's focused on one particular thing. Is that
I think probably just because it is, you can still feel, no matter what the size of the organization, I feel like the top down, you definitely get affected by the energy that gets put out there. True. But in a large organization, the actual struggles of those, if we had a huge organization, the conversations that we had in our office would be less impactful, I think, directly on our team if the team was bigger.
That's true.
Yeah, because we'd be more removed, even if you're trying to keep that brand of a community and a collaborative environment.
And I suppose in a big organization like that, you also have big funding. So, one thing about being an entrepreneur is that, or oftentimes in small business, is that if you don't have investment or anything like that, you're pretty much just funding your own business with any of the funds that come in, and that's a big part of the stress. Not to say that you can't do it, it's just an added layer that you have to think about.
Yeah, that's definitely been a big one for us, for sure, seeing that. But I feel very proud of ourselves because we have you've been in business 10-11 years. We've been partners for 8 years, and so we've definitely been through it. I'm pretty sure we're going to see every year we still see new struggles or challenges or opportunities. So mostly we just really wanted you guys to know that you're normal, and that it's good to kind of think about it and be proud of yourself for the ways that you've learned and you've grown over the years. And just to kind of, if we would love to hear more about what you've gone through, please leave some comments below and we'll interact with you. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.